spinny. Right, so anybody thinking of fitting MRL 869s, a few things you need to know. Right, so when these come, the gap between, you know, the two side walls is so tight. You need to get the tube in here and get some PSI in it. This has only got about maybe, I don't know, up to 10, maybe 15 at a push. It didn't even register on the compressor. It doesn't take much to inflate these tubes, but you need to push these side walls out. I've just done the other one. That's about the same. So on the first one, it's been sitting for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or so. So that's stretched the two side walls out. If you don't do that, if you just do it all dry, you'll struggle to get it over the rim, because the beads, whatever you want to call them, these pointy bits get stuck on the rims here, around this lip and that lip actually as well. So if you try doing it dry, bit of dryness. So I'm going to put my liners in now. I might need to drop some PSI out of it so I can slide them in and under. This is probably the hardest bit, getting the liners in. But yeah, if you try doing it all dry, you'll have some problems. Make sure you get plenty of tyre paste on. That's what all the car tyre fitting shops do. But you want to put the flap in dry, otherwise, you know, it might slip or whatnot. I possibly slipped one of the other tubes on the truck. That's why it went down at Yorkshire Wartime. So we're going to try and get this bad boy on there today. Right, update. So you get your tube on, get your tube in, sorry, your flap/liner over the stem. That's what it's supposed to look like all the way around, and then you'll get to something that looks like that. These do fight you all the way around. That's why you need to get a bit manual. So you've got to make sure one half's really in there. It's hard to do both hands, with one hand, sorry. You've got to pinch it in there like that. Now at this stage, it's probably best. So yeah, it's probably best to get your tyre valve key in there, let some of that pressure out. Put that to one side. Just let that pressure out so it doesn't fight you as much. And it will help getting the last bit of your liner in. It's quite hard to do one-handed, so I didn't bring my tripod, but in there. Cool. Letting that pressure out, not much, only about 10 to 15 psi. Managed to squeeze it all in, get it in there. Just a little tap with the hammer to make sure it's all seated right. And that is probably the hardest bit of doing this job. Make sure that's straight. So yeah, pump it back up, get about 20 psi in and see how well it fits on top of there. Okay, so that's that liner in, but as I was doing that, I was leaving the other one to pump up. Whoops. The science behind that, why it happened, rookie mistake really. So you pump in a tube full of air, like a bicycle tyre, and it just found the weakest link to push out. So it's pushing against the side walls and the flat tread, obviously. You keep pumping up, it's just going to bulge out here like you saw, and that's what it did. It pushed this liner out. Not too bad. All you have to do is just let the air out and squeeze it back in. You can keep a bit of air in because you want this to be as flat as possible, square, you know, straight, whatever you want to call it, because it's got to go over that rim now. So I'm going to plaster it with paste, tyre paste, see if we can get it on a rim. Yeah, plastered on there. This is what I was meaning when it gets stuck on the lip. So at the moment I've got one side in, sort of like this quarter, that's in. This is all slightly cockeyed. So it's basically like a pivot point that they sit on. I'm giving that a bit of a pull. There we go, it jumped, so. So that's it sitting roughly level. And because these are slightly tight on the ID, it nips it. So when you push the rim in, or the tyre on from underneath, it nips the rubber and it grabs the lip of the rim. So I'm currently struggling with that, if you can't already hear. Yeah. Unfortunately, I've got to the point where I didn't think I'd have to do it, but I'm going to get a grinder out and just trim this inside edge down, because that is stuck. So I'll Hadouken and kick that out after I've trimmed this down. Just run the grinder around it. Don't have to worry about splitting anything because there's steel bands in, well, they go pretty much all the way through there. You have to cut them to get them off the rim anyway, so a tacky. I hope from that time-lapse video you can see just how much mucking about there is. So it's still smoking, but it does get the rubber off. So that's not even a big clump. There's little bits here, there and everywhere around here. So you don't need to run the grinder right up to the edge, because obviously it's diagonal, like inwards. So as long as you take a bit of mill off this, you know, inside bottom edge, it should be okay. And then it's just a case of getting all this beaded stuff off. Stanley knife job. Thing is, it's really sticky, so obviously when rubber heats up it goes sticky. So let it cool down, do the other side, and it should be alright. I mean, it might need more. It's going to be a case of testing it on a rim. If it doesn't fit, take it off, do some more, put it on the rim again, so on and so forth. It's very backward and forward, but it's the only other real way to do it without a hydraulic press to squash the tyre onto the rim, or vice versa. So I'll keep at it for now. Right, so 2 hours later, I have been grinding, lots of that, cleaning, cutting off, whatever. I've just put some gunk around it. So, moment of truth. This is like the third time I've tried it. So that's promising. Oh. Ah, yes. It will go over that way. That's what it's supposed to do. Trim the inside edge, do a test fit, take it off, put your tube and your liner in, job's a good one. That'll go on now. So I've got to squeeze all them back in there again. Let's go. Excellent. Right, so tube and flap, liner in, lock ring. I'll show you how to do these in a minute. It's actually easier than you think. Putting the lock rings on, 10 times easier than getting them off, obviously. So what I tend to do is I do them opposite sides to the fill out. It's just me. You can put them wherever you want. It's just I just, you know, make it easier for reference filling them up and that. So the way to do about this is so you want to start by pushing this edge in first. So forget about that for now. Don't worry about that. Put this edge in first. This is going to be really hard to film with one hand, so I'm going to put it on my car and film it. So yeah, you start at this end and you put a bar similar to this, just a 1-inch pry bar, 1-inch end, conveniently in that hole there. And what you need to do is you push down there, obviously when that side stays in. You push down with that side with the bar in, and you walk it round with a hammer and a piece of wood. And then when you get to about here, this side is right up in the air like that, because it's all bent and twisted. So you'll see it on the video when I'm walking it around and hitting it with a hammer and a piece of wood. Stay. Right. Trying a different ring now. Because that one obviously did not want to play ball. That in. Tappy tappy. Yep, she's going now. Alright, so it's roughly locked on about 3/4 of the way around. I take that off. See how that side's staying in the air? That's normal. It will go lower down on this side, away from the lock, but that's normal, so don't worry about it. So, a couple of taps and it should go in. Okay, show you a close up. So the ring is on, but not properly. See how there's a gap here, and it's flush here nearly. So we get our little persuader. It should go in. He says, we might need a bar. Oh, there's a bit of movement on that one, but that shouldn't be too bad. As long as the lip on there marries up to this lip underneath, you're laughing. So I'll just try and get this one to go up. So there's a bit of movement there, but once the tyre gets inflated, it'll push it up against it. So I'm not too worried about that. Okay, we'll try inflating it then. Let's see how we go. Whilst that tyre, well, not tyre, it's a bomb more than anything. I've managed to get this one mounted on the block of wood and knock it down. With that, it just pulls the tube out. Nothing to worry about. This one needs going round again with the grinder, but I'm going to pack up today because it's getting... my back's starting to hurt, so what I'll do is I'll wait for that thing to not explode and try and get it mounted onto the truck today, because that'll only be a 10-minute job. So yeah, that's it for tyre fitting. Any questions, let me know in the comments, or find me a DM or whatnot if you know me personally or whatnot. So yeah, thanks for watching again. This has been a newbie's guide to mounting new tyres. What to do, what not to do, what mistakes can be made, because I make them all the time. I'm an idiot. But yeah, there they are. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.